Alrighty, folks. Anyway, I kind of consider myself being part of this because I played Heroes of Might and Magic 1 and Game Boy Color, and I made a playlist, all of the levels I want to do for Game Boy Color. I also plan on playing versus matches, online matches for Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Hota, um, which is a fan-based mod out of the game. Most famous, and when I got online like 2 weeks ago, I didn't play, but I got on the lobby. It was insanely packed with people on the I think on the Sundays when people get on Heroes of Might and Magic 3 the most. Saturdays are up there, but I think Sundays is a lazy Sunday. It's like almost everybody there, the vast majority of people are people from Eastern Europe, Ukraine and Russia. And just like right now, StarCraft is filled with games being hosted by Koreans. The vast majority of the community is Korean. Like I noticed a lot of these mythical medieval games um, are very famous in the eastern um, regions of Europe, but not so much popular in other areas. I wanted to talk about Inferno class, which is been seeing some of the changes for the Hota files here. It's kind of laughable, man. Very laughable. I'm gonna go run down on all the changes they made. Hopefully, they can make a new patch and they can release it towards the community. I'm just gonna give you my 2 cents. I don't consider myself a pro. I haven't played this game too often, so don't take my advice too seriously. But I know a lot about this game, to know what I'm talking about. I'm not just any idiot moving my mouth. Like I know all the mechanics. I did play online 10 years ago on Game Ranger. I think I only won 1 or 2 matches. I think only one out of the 5 or 6 games that I played. Very, very competitive community, and it's mostly European players that are really into this. I know Lexian and other guys that are just playing it every day, almost every day, dude. And this is basically the Inferno class. You got the level 1, which is laughable. Level 2, very laughable. The Magogs. I'm gonna give you all my opinion on a lot of these things. And then the cost, not only for the buildings, like the building costs, they're not too bad. It's the unit costs, unit upgrades. They're like, someone said that Inferno's meant for like rushing, but I feel like the upgrade they should have scrapped the upgrade that you need 2 Infernos in order to actually teleport. They should have made something more interesting and make it different. In the sense that they should have made like an altar pit so that when you purchase some of the units, if you put that unit on that altar pit, you can make that unit into um immune to fire and it will cost more gold to make it. Say you know how Heroes of Might and Magic 2, if you go to certain buildings, you can actually upgrade um ogres from the more upgraded ogres. Similar to that, if you go into a certain building around the map to get an upgraded, but this is your town. So if you would purchase this building, you can make your units immune to fire. Not necessarily just Inferno units. You can make any unit immune to fire, and this will be like a really, really. It will make the fire book spell more meaningful because it's kind of useless right now. Earth is like leading charge by a miles, man. Nobody can beat Earth spells. So anybody telling me, oh, having fire, having including fire immunity on your to purchase for your units is too broken. No, it's not. Like right now, how I see it, nobody has told me this. I don't know for a fact that Earth is the most broken because I know they have slow. Wait, which one is it? Yeah, I think it's slow. Curse is part of. I'm not sure if curse implosion is one of the most. I think it's the strongest. uh target spells can do easily over 1,000 damage. If you have high spell, you can probably do easily over 2k damage. And spell power is kind of like underrated. They should probably include the Inferno class. If they don't want to take that approach, they can take for the Brimstone. Instead of giving you +2 spell power, why not give it you +3? And if they don't want to go take this route and change that upgrade, because it forces you to get another Inferno, and it's like useless, man. Like more than half of the time you're playing random, you only get one castle. The chances of getting another Inferno class type is like less than 10%. Like it's really rare. Not only that, it's not cheap to make, and like the only good, and I mean good thing from having two Infernos is like if there's the Inferno on the cave or underground, and there's one on the surface, because flying does is you can move everywhere, but you can't move flying or teleport for that matter from underground and to the surface. So I think it's like very situational, the teleportation. If they don't want to change it to, oh, sacrifice this unit to make it, or just put it on like altar so they can make it immune to fire. That's one route. The other route is if they can make certain units immune to fire, such as the Cerberus. It doesn't necessarily be the Hellhound, it can be the upgraded one, Cerberus. I know a lot of people don't like to upgrade demons, horn demons, because basically they just want to farm and make demons. But I mean, that will be another one as well, making demons or horn demons. It doesn't necessarily have to be Cerberus and the Hellhounds. As long as you can make the demon and horn demons immune to fire, that's another good one. Now, they don't want to go that route. Just why not increase the increase the population for the demon? They did increase the population for imps, and honestly, like it's very useless unit. Like, you can channel magic. It would be great. You could actually channel spells, and instead of like having, what was it, Mystify? No, Mystify increase. I think it's Eagle Eye. It's Eagle Eye, the one that gives you spells, skills. I know for a fact that some of these spells are actually banned in some of the online matches. One of the less useful skills, only for spellcasters who cannot build at level. Yeah, basically stronghold. All right, it is Eagle Eye then. Wanted to be sure here. Yeah, so basically instead of channeling mana and stealing energy from the opponent, like that demons would those imps would have also channeled the Eagle Eye spell, and hear me out. On the battlefield, you can channel that same ability that was used on the battlefield. That would have been well, you know what? That kind of bit would have been broke. But say maybe it has to be like a one-time effect. You know how like the leprechauns, you can the spell. I guess you can probably use that spell and use it on your hero. They would have used that mechanics. Scholar. It would be something in between Scholar and Eagle Eye. Anyways, I don't think that would have been a better idea in my book. But look what it says here. Upgrade is well worth doing, sure. Attack and defense became closer for medium or level 1. Good speed and mana channeling ability, which makes it somewhat worthy having familiar person on long battles. I think it's just, it sucks, man. Think about it. He spends 20 mana and you'll get 4. Yeah, you'll get only what 20% of mana channel into your mana. Why not increase that by 5 or 10%? Have it 5 or 30%, 25 or 30%. That would have been a better choice than what I said. Other than that, I think the familiar's kind of not a good upgrade, man. It's laughable. And as if you think this is bad, this one gets worse. You can do hexes with fire. Now they did something interesting, which I'm gonna talk about in a bit for the Hota, the changes they made, not only for this character but other characters. But yeah, you can attack basically at Firebird. Wait, Phoenix and Firebirds, I think they're immune to fire. And Ifrits and Ifrit Sultans are also immune to fire. And now you can actually damage them if they're attacking in the central hex, which I kind of liked. But anything outside from the middle hex, it can still get damage. Now this is like the only good ability aside from the devils and this guy over here, the pit fiend, that you can have free adjustment at once and no enemy retaliation. Please put the no enemy retaliation on the Hellhounds. Like at least what was it? Fortress. 3DO managed to put a lot of defense buff. If you're not gonna buff or increase the population, why not give some of these abilities to some of the earlier units like the Hellhound? If you're not gonna give it to Mutifier, why not give no enemy retaliation also to him? It doesn't make any sense. There's no enemy retaliation here, but no enemy retaliation here. Like it's come on, man. Good thing is that servers are kind of beat up there. But aside from that, I don't know. And most people don't upgrade horn demons because they farm demons. Now, I would love if they can actually increase the population here. The price is very reasonable. I don't know about that. There's a lot of what is this? Level 4, right? Yeah, level 4 units that are like what 200 gold. Let's get a fortress, one of the weaker ones as well. Most people that this one is actually the weakest one. Never mind. Comparing fortress. Go for go for stronghold. Hang it. Okay, yeah, yeah. No, I'm gonna go for necropolis. Port. Okay, this is a good example. This is a good example. I can compare. Say this is not reasonable. Look, 250 gold, 50 gold here. Look at this. 35 attack. Yes, much better stats. Look at the movement speed. 5 slow, 8. And it has flying for crying out loud. Can't beat that, man. You literally cannot beat it. Sure, a little bit extra health, increased attack and defense, but at what cost? I mean, I'd rather have something like flying and faster units because at the end of the day, a lot of the times faster units ended up winning a lot of the matches. Whenever you have something like Earth Magic and you want to slow everybody down so you can actually go first in almost a lot of units as possible. Um, Silver Pegasus, difference. And then of the day, the demons. I feel like the demons should have had at least a little bit increased speed as well by one. Make them by 6 speed and make the horn demon by 7 speed. I think that would have been a good change. The Pete Fiends are very expensive. Look at the difference. My God, 700, 500. I think they're probably like the most, what it says here, that's probably the most reasonable units. Even the familiars are kind of expensive and the gogs for the price. Everything is so expensive. Inferno, and that's actually my favorite class. But I keep seeing every time people ignore this class because it just sucks. There has to be more improvement. The only good unit, and I have to agree, but by a lot of people's standards, are the Ifrits. They're very good units, and the fact that they're immune to fire and they are very, very quick units. Like, look at that speed 13, man. I think that's actually one of the fastest. I think it's the fastest level 6. I think it's faster than all of level 6. Castle the Knights. Yeah, I know there's I think they're the fastest power. And yeah, even faster than the G are not allowed. Telling you like Wyverns, speed 11, not even close. Speed 13, and now that's what we're talking about. But anyways, like I like that they make the changes here for the negative for the Devils, but I mean, should have made more changes. I think the Ifrits should not be tinkered. They should just leave like that. They tinkered with not with the devil, with the arc devil. So instead of negative enemy luck, they increase it by two, which is actually kind of good if you ask me. Because a lot of the times the luck does a lot of the critical damages and it sucks, especially I hate fighting against an enemy that has range and it has and you see the luck uh, animation come up on top of the creature. You're like, son of a gun, they're about to do more damage. And I don't know what's the amplified damage, if it's two times, four times, 1.5. I never understood how that works based on the stats and everything, but it does a lot of damage, especially if you have something like freaking Titans or any really range unit like the Cyclops that can do a good decent amount of damage in big numbers. You want to really lower that luck, and this is actually good what they did. Let me go down on what is it right here. So I'm glad that the castle they didn't even tinker with none of the crap because they don't need to be buffed. As a matter of fact, they actually just punish the castle type for a lot of the broken ass heroes like Sir Moloch. We already know that he's specialty with speed that will increase your unit speed by what was it by one or two, something like that. A lot of times that will make the knights what the knights or he said by two factor. There was it 9 or 11, 9 that will make them 11. Shit, man, 18 that will make them 20. That will be like you will always go first. Yeah, that's a broken thing. Might probably be the best hero in the game. But if you have something that you go first, and if you do the spell, that's actually gonna make you win a lot of the battles. Fortunately, um, Yeah, so they only took out that character that got changed. Spellbook. I actually never understood if Castle had spellbook. If they did, and then that was kind of broken on their side. Oh, they actually did that change. That'll be great. I haven't checked the GOG version or the Steam, which is basically the original. I've been checking back and forth if the changes are really, and they did actually make the change. I was actually kind of surprised for a lot. So Castle and Rampart didn't got a lot of change, as you can see. Rampart is kind of broken for the treasury. Most people don't see how broken treasury is. Now that ability is good. Inferno has a freaking teleport where you need another Inferno town, like whoopie doo. But Rampart gets something like treasury, not only treasury. He has one of the best units in the game, in my opinion. Like they're not might be the best, but pound to pound, they're above average. They're not the best, and I take it back, but they're above average in my book. Like I don't have to tell you how good this guys are extremely fast. Speed 8, very swift. Like not even 8, speed 6 already is kind of quick. The battle dwarves have good magic resistance. A lot of times whenever you want to target them and it's annoying, like, oh, if there's like 50 of them, I want to actually slow them down or do something to them and wait a minute. What if it gets resisted? So they already have good ability. The Grand Elves are very good, man. They attack 2 times. While it might be like the weakest Rampart unit for me, kind of sucks. Enemy spellcaster must pay 2 extra spell points. I think they should change this for the Rampart, in my opinion. Like this one's 2, right? They should increase this by 3 or 4. Like say instead of enemy spellcaster must pay 3 or 4 when this guy's unit. Like it's what's the point of upgrading this? Like they should actually increase stats. It's kind of just you're only paying for the speed basically for 25 gold, and they should increase this by I don't know 25 more gold, having them 300, making this or probably 280 or 290. The Dendroids, I'm not a big fan of them. They're kind of slow, but they're very beefy, very beefy. Oh, don't get me started, freaking unicorn! I won so many matches with well, not against human players, AIs. Thanks to these right here, the unicorns. Now it's a darn shame that the 20% doesn't increase for the unicorn and war unicorn. It stays the same. You're basically you're paying for the stats. Then the gold dragons. Sure, you can't beat black dragons, but they're not that bad. And what has more attack defense? All right, let's move on. You can see Rampart and Castle didn't get much change. Now for the tower, this change right here alone, this right here is more progress. Anything that Inferno is giving me right here. Right here, the Golden Factory. And to me, the one that I really liked the most was the Mage Tower. I felt like the Mage Tower was way too expensive. Like a lot of these mid-tier buildings, and were just too expensive, man. Like by the time you reach week 2, you were just trying to look for gold as much as you can because everything is so expensive. And not only that, the Cloud Temple, the second one, was 2,500. I'm glad they increased it by 20,000, 5,000 cheaper because they weren't the best units. I mean, now everybody know that ancient behemoths are broken. Archangels can be just as good, if not better, than colossal titans. And honestly, I have always been a. I think Tower is probably my second favorite class. town that is. I was always a chummer for these. Ever since Heroes of Might and Magic 2. They're just one of my favorite units, man. And I think Heroes of Might and Magic 4 is probably like one of the reason why I choose that specific town. I forgot the name. When I go for that route, because I want to go for wait, are they Titans or they're called Giant? Wait, this. Okay, they were called both Giant and Titans. They go from Giant to Titan. Okay, 5,000. Yeah, they're very big boys, man. Big difference. 300. So yeah, the prize buildings immensely changed. I really like this. And then not only that, they beefed up a lot of this level 2, 3 units. Stone Gargoyles increased from 3.5 to 5 to 7. At least they got a decent fast unit increase. Inferno gets a freaking familiar increase. The level 1. You gotta be kidding me. It's like you're making people to actually just take it and move along. Don't bother me for any more changes. Wait, hold the fuck on, man. Familiars freaking suck. Like this is way better different. Stone golems. Look at that. Trees. Now for heroes, it changes ability for interference. I have not seen this. I haven't played a Hota match yet. I haven't even played a Hota against AI either. I installed it like a few months back. I've been seeing some online matches of here and there a few times and several times actually, not a few times. I'm actually interested to actually get into. For the Inferno, I actually got pissed at the hellhole, and this is actually probably one of the better things they did here. This and the Arc Devil was the only good thing. Aside from that, I'm not happy. I'm not even happy with this. I'm like, yeah, 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 be happy with this. Like, dude, the units are freaking expensive as hell. You're telling me I should be quiet and be happy for this changes? They need to have better changes in this crap. The hellhole, the fact that you had to use mage skill level 2 in order to do your freaking farm demons at like what, week 3? Because it requires a lot of resources to make. If anything, you can't farm demons on week 1 with the previous one. Now you can actually start doing it on later week 1 or week 2. But on the original game, like week 3 was more or less where you could start. And even then, like it's laughable at the type of army that you can actually, as opposed to Necropolis with their skeleton army. Uh, they really, they really nerfed the hell out of Necropolis. They're still very powerful in my book. Very, very, very powerful. I think even more powerful than Inferno any day, even with the changes. Look, they make the fireball, the hex by one target. Like you can attack a certain unit if it's an opposing unit. Like if there's another Ifrit, I think you can target it, but only a target when you're actually targeting this. Not everything around it. So if there's another one, it won't hit it. You have to like really target at it. I think that's how it's now. It used to be a thing back then where you can actually hurt your own unit. Now it's not the case anymore. I personally never experienced that. But the Arc Devil change here, the -1 2 luck, that's a good change there in the hellhole. And then the amount of imps increased from 15 to 25 to 20 to 30. You're expecting me to see, wow, what a great change. Imps, out of all the units, we get imps as a good change. Man, whomever made it's actually a joke, man. They deserve to see this video. And then like the brimstone upgrade from 5 to 4, like the brimstone increases the spell power. If they're gonna not gonna make all the changes, one spell power by one would actually do good. Just by one. Because I already increased what spell power by two. So instead of having it by two, by three would be great. So making the Inferno like the powerhouse castle for spell power. Or if they want to change the teleport castle, whatever the freaking upgrade it's called, they can make something like another spell power increase as well. But you have to purchase. You know how a conflux you freaking buy specific spells for your heroes? Like you can do that, but instead it'll be like for your hero. Like you can visit with the brimstone, automatically gives you that. Then you can click on that building, and then you can actually do something like can increase your spell power only by like one per hero. I think one would be good. So instead of giving four spell power would be one increased by the brimstone and then one for that specialty instead of the teleportation castle. The Necropolis, they got nerfed the shit out of it. Like, they had 10, 20, 30%. Now it's 5, 10, 15. And then the Necromancy Amplifier specialty, that got uh that got nerfed as well by 5%. So at most you would have like what, 40%? And if you have like something like 200 army dying, get literally 40%. Wait, yeah, 40% back out of that army. So say that's probably like 70, 80 skeletons that you're gonna get, something like that, if you had like 200 dead. So that is freaking huge. Like, you can get like over 1,000 skeletons the first month, easy. Not even the first month, probably the second or third week you can actually get that if you get a lot of battles. Like I'm glad they nerfed that. Let's see. Other changes here. I like the fact that they decreased a lot of units here. The museum price, they really have it from 10 to 5. Because ore, like Necropolis is heavy on ore, sulfur. Like it was ridiculous, but they made that change for that, but couldn't make any changes for the Inferno class. Even though they're not only their buildings, their units is like to make the Ifrits, you need a bunch of stuff. I think you need gems as well. You need wood. You need all kinds of things, man. It's crazy. And then the leeches have similar stuff as the gogs, but except these are better because you don't actually get to actually hit your own units if I'm not mistaken. I forgot, but I know for the fact that Magog suck. That's all I remember back when I used to play often. Um, I banned a few other units. Dungeon. I guess probably the most played castle aside from Cove. I see Dungeon and Cove. I think Castle comes in like second place. Either Cove and Dungeon, the one that I see the most. Stronghold has been getting a lot of love lately because see that ancient behemoths are freaking broken in late game. So that's the only reason why strongholds are seeing more play now because of the ancient behemoths. Um, the troglodytes, the amount they really lower them. I know you can actually make an army out of them, so kind of kudos they changed that because early enough you can make a lot of troglodytes and you can have over 200 and if you actually buy units from your castle and you buy units from nearby locations where you can actually not buy but have troglodytes join you every week, you can actually make 200 to 500 troglodytes in your army that's by the second or third week. Harpies. Now they lowered the troglodytes and they increased the harpies. I always thought that it was kind of hard to actually make an army of harpies, so I'm actually glad they make. Harpies are very, very annoying units to actually fight against. That's the only change they make for the dungeon. Which I don't want to tinker. I don't want to change my opinion on anything changes. I think dungeon is actually a very good castle. I don't know why they increased the harpies. Go figure. But that's what they did. Much better unit than a fucking than a imp. Crying out loud. Um, Stronghold. Now this has to be probably a better upgrade building change than any of these probably combined. The fact that to make Cyclops Cave, sorry, was 20 crystals was insanely expensive. I don't know if it was 20 or 10. I think it was 20. Not only that, but to make behemoths, I think it would cost 10 crystal. So you were very, very like if you play Stronghold, you to be on the hunt for crystals. And now it's not the case. Like you can actually shut down a stronghold easily if there wasn't any crystal mine closed and or getting any crystals in general. Like would actually fall behind so fast because I don't think they have a level 4 or 5 spells on their Mage Guild, and I think they can only get onto Mage Guild level 3. I haven't played this game that much in like 10 years, but I believe that's how it is, if my memory is actually not fooling me. I played Heroes of Might and Magic 3 like last year, but I played like only 1 or 2 matches and that's it. So my memory is kind of like I don't have muscle memory for this game that much, but if if I'm correct and that's how it is, then I have a good memory for this game. So I feel like Mage Guild level 3 is not sufficient. That's why ancient behemoths are like broken. Which I get it, but make the Cyclops more usable for this. Thank you. You can actually start pumping them. I think they would cost 20 crystals. Now it's like you don't need crystals in order to actually make the Cyclops gate. Upgraded one, they increase it by 10. Honestly, I think this should change. The Cyclops are kind of broken at destroying the wall towers of the castle. Shoot, I think two, if I'm not mistaken, per round. I think it's two. If it's not two, it's one. Well, at least you can shoot one, so you can throw the catapult and then the Cyclops. I believe it's two because the Cyclops, I think the original one, it was one, and I think this guy can shoot two. The Cyclops King. But anyways, I think that's kind of broken. I think they should increase it a little by 15 instead of 10. But that's just my opinion. Abilities change here. Fortress. I think the second worst castle. Some people say it's the worst. I really want to say it's the worst because I like Inferno, but I'm actually fooling myself here. Uh, Journals increase from 10 to 20, went from 15 to 25, which is good. And then not only that, the serpent flies got increased 3 to 4 instead of 2 to 4. This castle heavily relies on serpent flies and wyverns as to harass a lot of the castles early to mid game. Aside from that, hero changes. Now the freaking conflict, man. Castle, I keep reminding myself how broken it. A lot of people would say that Necropolis would be like the most broken castle. At the same time, I keep reminding myself how good the castle in that game it really is. But then this game came, this expansion came, and Conflict's ugly face showed up, and it just threw everything off, man. The fact that you can purchase spells and then you can start making your Earth spell really easy if you have Conflux. I don't know if Conflux is banned on matches. I remember seeing it banned. This one and Necropolis were the banned types, but it got nerfed a little bit. See, they have a new structure here. It costs 500. This, dude, this is broken. Increases the Firebirds and Phoenix by. Aren't they like the most populated level 7 units? Like Archdevils and Archangels will get like what? Population by 2? And these guys already had it plus 3? So if you get increase it by 1, that's gonna be what, 4? And then they're immune to fire, and then not only that, if they die, they get resurrected. Like what's going on in here? Am I seeing this or am I just making it up? This this freaking class Castletown doesn't need any freaking buff. Okay. The constructing of the pyre, I actually agree. I think it was way too freaking cheap to make one. I take it. Well, I still think the increase by 1 is kind of broke. I don't know if it replaced the magic. New structure, Bolt of Ashes. I have to really play a game after this stream. See what the hell is with the conflicts. I see a lot of changes here, not only that. Constructing Magic Lantern now requires Mage level 1. Magic Lantern. I'm trying to remember what is that. I think Magic Lantern is probably the genie. If I'm not mistaken. The freaking university was the one that gave you the spell. Um, yeah, the 10,000, 50,000 was is a good change, but I think the better change was the 10 to 20 Mercury. I'm glad it has 20 Mercury now, which this is a good nerf right here. But aside from that, like I don't see good nerfs aside from the other that. I think the university should be more expensive. The fact that you can get it out and buy spells is kind of broke. Wait, Aurora Borealis. Like the Grail structure, okay, allows learning spells up to according level of and doesn't allow learning spells. Okay, that's broken. Yeah, they probably had the most broken Grails in. I keep forgetting that each Grail has different abilities per cast or town. That is, keep saying cast. Okay, so the Firebirds are not completely immune now. Thank God, that's another nerf. They're now replaced with 50% fire resistance. Wait, yes, Psychic Elementals. Those are the worst units. Worst units in the game. I hate them with a passion. I'm glad they increased by price. Yeah, I'm liking this. No, no, no. I take it back. They did nerf conflicts. They nerfed the hell out of conflict. And, and this one, and I feel like Yeah, I think this is probably more stable now. More, but I feel like Stronghold, not Stronghold, Inferno needs some tweaking. Yeah, yeah. Firebirds now cost 2,000 per Firebird, which is good. Magic Elementals from 500 to 1,000 to. Yeah, they were really cheap. A lot of these units, man. Yes, 3,000 gold, one Mercury. Still one Mercury. They just buy 1,000. All right, I'm gonna cut the stream. Hopefully, somebody in high places and actually see this and make the changes for the Inferno. I don't see any changes. Everybody would say that their units are so expensive. How come they didn't? If they're gonna make the units expensive, make them with better abilities, add abilities. Like the Cerberus doesn't even have no anymore retaliation. Crying out. Like it only gets it. Wait, the Hellhound. Sorry, you don't get it until like Cerberus. Wait, I said it the other way around, right? I'm not too familiar. Okay, yeah, Hellhounds doesn't get the no enemy retaliation. We're gonna be talking about like being expensively here, especially after level 3. Yeah, maybe after level 4. This one is insanely expensive. This one is insanely like 900 gold already. And seeing this change right here for the yeah, for the conflux, the elementals. Dude, this is insanely cheap. And these units are way better. Well, they can't be better. They're broken because attacking on all hexes. They're basically like Hydras in a nutshell. And their stats, if I'm not mistaken, they have a good attack power. Uh, they're not weak units by any chance. And I think bring them up. Conflux, where are you? Wait a minute. How come they don't have conflux? Do I have to go change the expansion? There we go. Wait a minute. Books, creatures. Okay. Keep forgetting there's two expansions for the damn game, not one. They changed the psychic elementals which is to 950 gold, so I assume magic elementals are more expensive. I have to really play this and see how much they cost now. So basically, they're 80 health units. Nagas are powerhouse. I'm not gonna compare to them. I know they're 110. Very beefy. So for sure with a come on man. 99 okay. Attack damage 10 but they attack all hexes. Defense is 13. They have higher defense. Look, their stats are not too far off from me. Say what you want about them, man. You know what? A good comparison fortress with the wyverns. The wyverns are 70 health. Telling you, these are not weak units at all. Look at the Wyvern Monarch, dude. Barely expensive. And then 800 gold. The dumb. Please buy 300 Wyvern Monarch. Yeah, because of poison. So these are basically immune to all magic. These are just mind spells. Attack all attacks all adjacent hexes. And then the best part of all, no enemy retaliation. In other words, if there's like a phoenix, there's an archangel, there's a cavalry or a knight, and then there's a swordsman. Then you get close, and then they're on all like in the hexes where you can attack all those three units, and then no enemy retaliation. That's really really broken. The fact that they actually changed the cost here is good, but I don't know. Inferno class needs better love, needs some love, man. That's all I can say. I'm gonna cut the stream here, everybody.